Oh, there we go. Well, hi, kids. We're back. I think it's week 7. It's me, Jeffrey. I'm here. And alongside of me tonight, if you're listening and can't see us, I've got Miss Kelly. How you doing, Miss Kelly?
I'm great, Jeffrey. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing peachy keen. And then below me, I've got Dana. How you doing, Dana?
Below you.
I've
Dana's
been
always
all
below
right.
Jeffrey. Yep.
I don't mind that. I'm okay with it, really. Oh, yes, yes. Tip your head up like that. Works for me,
Hi.
honey. Hi. Hi,
Then
honey.
we
How
got
you
Bryen.
doing? And then Brian's to the left of Dana. No, to the right. I don't know my right and left.
Hey,
Well,
It's been a long time. Hi, Brian. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Is my little nephew Damien sleeping any better?
Actually, he is doing pretty good.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear.
I hate to say that though, because every time I say that, the next few nights is like I jinx
hell
myself.
on earth. It's what happens.
He's
And I
finally
love
got 2
that-
teeth coming through.
I love that Brian's literally okay with you referring to his child as Damien.
We're talking on the phone.
Perfectly
and he'll start
acceptable name.
crying out. Listen, come on, Kelly. You shouldn't listen.
Actually, to be
Okay.
honest with you, one of the best chefs I ever worked with, his name was Damien, and he was awesome.
Okay, so you have a positive association with that.
Oh yeah. I've actually known a few people named Damien.
All right.
Well, there you go.
Listen. Hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to tweet and things about our show because we're, live right now. People could come join us and chat with us. So if you're listening on one of the many places, Apple Podcasts, whatever, you can also watch us because this show gets streamed live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and then the Twitch or Stitch or wherever, the people that play the video games and things, they watch us there too. I don't think many people do, but they do. So you could do any of those things. But so, yeah, that's the information. And yeah, listen, I've always been the one that calls people's children names. You know what I mean? In daycare, I was like, oh, you got an asshole baby. It's just how I roll.
It's a term of endearment.
Exactly.
Well,
like
you
Kelly.
gotta be straight with people. You really do.
Parents
I mean,
And I like to be the fun one. You know what I mean? Like Kelly's daughter, I taught her that Walmart is for people that live in trailers. It's my job. So on that note,
It's my job.
let's start the show and play the theme song, huh? You know what, too? Now I realize, besides it cutting off so abruptly and it drives me nuts and I keep forgetting to fix it, is that if they're watching, it has no lyrics anymore because it was, James did that for us
Right.
on the original when it was the OG for Guilty Pleasures with me, Katrina, and Karen Ashley. And then there was the rotating panel of mics that joined the show. So it was convenient because it used to start off with Jeff, Karen, Kat, Michael, and then one Michael left and another one joined. So we just kept the name Michael in there. You know what I mean? Like
That's too
it worked
much.
out. Yeah. So it kind of told a story about all of us and had little ditties in there. So the words don't make sense to play for any of the other shows on the channel, but I'm like too cheap to go buy us a theme song.
Yeah, so let's
because
talk about that. What do you mean the other shows on the channel? So if you're just joining us for the first time, this is a show four friends just kind of threw together because we missed each other a lot and, needed
I
to
miss
create an
Bryen so much.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I miss you too,
that,
Dana.
that
It's
connection
been like
is
40
deep.
years since I've seen you.
Yeah.
Don't tell our age.
well, and I'm a
So-
rather persistent friend, and I just
Yeah.
assume have everybody cater to me and work with me, and
You
then
are-
you can spend time with me.
You are needy, and we love you
Yeah.
for that. But this was a great way for us to all connect and check in with each other. Because I think one of the things that's happened during COVID is we've all kind of retreated into our own routines, and a lot of us have lost connections with each other. And so, for those who are wondering why on earth you're watching this, you may still have that question at the end. I'm not going to lie, but no, we kind of check in with
I have
each
that
other
question
every
at the end
week.
a lot.
Yeah, like what did we? I don't know, but yeah, maybe you'll find something we talk about that you can relate to, or bring up and check in with your friends on. So,
Yeah.
Jeffrey, we can see you.
I don't
Does
know
he
what
get
you're
the, does he
talking
get the bell for that finger?
I don't know what you're
Oh,
talking
did I
about.
look down? I don't know. I have to think
I
about
didn't
that.
do. I don't know what you're talking about.
There was like a
I-
little
Did you have
birdie
an itch?
flying
Did
by.
he have an itch?
I did.
Oh, the itch.
I had an
Yeah.
itch. See, that's the
Okay.
great thing about people. Like we can see each other, and if you're just listening, you can't see me, so you don't know that I just gave somebody the finger. I'm just
Well,
saying.
most of us can't see you anyway because you're out in Missouri and they literally have dial-up internet. So your face gets all pixelated. So it really doesn't matter if you're
I know.
listening or watching.
What are you guys gonna do
That's
when
cool.
I'm back in a couple of weeks?
I know. Like, and you know what? I'm super excited to see you because it's been way too long. And I love you, but I'm also excited because you're coming when it might be closer to spring.
Yes, and we could actually do the show all together in person
What?
Yeah, that would be nice.
in the same space.
Yeah,
Weird.
Wouldn't that be something?
it really would.
I know, and we could do it with cocktails, which could be
Ooh.
dangerous. Mhm.
I didn't know they had tails.
Maybe we could all leave our children with. Well, you guys could leave your children's with your spouses, and I could just, leave mine with a random stranger on the street, and we can have an adult slumber party.
Yeah, why not?
There you go.
Just saying. Just saying, kids.
So that actually that kind of gave me an idea about preferences and things. So maybe this is a good time to jump in. Should we check in with each other first, or do we want to jump into
Well, of
our?
course. Let's
Yeah.
check in. Let's check in. Let me find a little doohickey. Damn it! Why can I never?
It's because you're looking for a doohickey. It's not a doohickey.
I know. I'm
It's
looking
an
for the
emoji,
doohickey.
Jeffrey.
So
It's an
listen,
emoji.
if you guys are listening, you're not watching. We have this thing up on the screen that says, "Let's check in. How do you feel today?" And there's 1 through 11, and it's different emojis. So if you go to any of our social media pages, you'll see this picture, and it has 1 through 11, the different emojis, and the hashtag is "What's your emoji?" So we're trying to get that going. You can also go over to uncensoredradio.shop. And you can pick up a t-shirt if you need a coaster. Maybe you need some coasters for when your friends come over and they have an adult beverage. And you can pick up some coasters for like $3.
No, but
that
I do need a shower curtain, and I think they got a shower curtain on there.
We do. You can buy. Yeah, I can hook you up with a shower curtain for like $4. Says let's check in. How do you feel today? What's your emoji? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
uncensoredradio.shop, kids. We got rid of that long, ridiculous Redbubble, blah, blah, blah crap. And I just, spent the money and got uncensoredradio.shop. I thought it was
Right.
convenient. Here I
Good
am.
job.
Who knew?
You've had a busy
I-
week, man. So I want
really
you to
do.
go first. You go first with your emoji.
My emojis. Let's see. I've had an 8, a 9, a 10. A 6, a 5, a 3, a 2. I've just gone through the whole list, really.
Are you
except for
counting down to
7.
midnight on New Year's Eve or what?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
All right. 10,
Yeah.
9, 8,
Mhm.
7, 6. Yeah, I've had them all this week. I have to tell you, I don't even remember when we did the last show, but I am certain that I've had all the feelings,
Yeah.
right, and all the experiences, and they've all been extraordinary in good and bad ways. So that's me, Bryen.
I feel like I've had all the emotions this past week too, just especially with the Ukraine thing.
Yeah,
No
absolutely.
kidding.
Yeah. And Dana, you get to round out the quartet here.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I had all the negative ones. Let's see. I'll have a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 7, and yeah, that about covers it.
Probably 9.
No, nothing's surprising me anymore.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Monsieur Dana. He said nothing surprises him anymore. Well, you know what? People still shock the hell out of me on a daily basis, especially my children.
Oh, boy. I knew that was the lead up. That's why I didn't interrupt you. Because I knew this is like the engine, the steam engine gaining steam here. So go ahead.
Oh, we got a little smiley face in the comments
Hi, Chris.
from a Mr. Cox.
Oh, it's Christopher. He's like, our number one fan. Hey, boo. He's late
There
as
he is.
usual. I posted a little meme and he's like, I'm never on time. And now here we know. Hey, boo boo. Now, Christopher, now you can go to uncensoredradio.shop. You don't have to go to that horrific link anymore. Just saying. 20% off right now, by the way, kids, until tomorrow. Tomorrow, 20% off the whole store. Just saying. It's been real rough. So I'm seriously I'm like, how do I broach this subject without sounding like a horrible father? But I've really considered and looked into boarding school.
Yeah.
Yes, because the older two's behavior is just getting worse. And it has a lot to do with things that just come from before they were adopted, before they were placed in foster care. And I think a lot of it too has to do with just being hardwired wrong, and there's not a level of therapy that's going to fix it. And it's something that's been very difficult for me to admit to myself that I'm not going to be able to fix this.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's been a very challenging thing. And two, it's a struggle because I look at the youngest child and I'm like, at what point do I have to put keeping him from seeing all these other behaviors and trying to protect him ahead of trying to save the other two? Like, it feels like an impossible situation.
What does boarding school entail?
Well,
Honestly, I don't know anything about it.
They're these schools that it's supposed to be, kind of like what I did with therapeutic foster care, right? Where it's therapeutic school and there's therapists on hand at all hours and they're for like behavior management and kids with behavioral issues and kids with
Trauma.
mental health issues. You know what I mean?
Is the length dependent on the kid?
No,
Is it
it's
different
just-
for every kid?
Yeah, I guess. You know what I mean? But it is a place where they can live and it's a school and there's outdoor activities and it's a stricter place. But I'm just the physical damage to everything around me, the emotional toll of 4 to 5 hours a day of just tantrums and fits are exhausting. And I'm tired. I'm so tired. And it's getting to the point of nothing's working. Nothing is changing this. The psychiatrists are like, oh, well, what does the therapist say? Well, the therapist is a social worker who's out of their depth. So what next? Oh, we'll go see
At what point
another
does it become
psychiatrist.
better off?
You're a
what time-
psychiatrist. You're telling me to go see a social worker? Who?
Right.
Yeah.
What are they
doesn't
gonna
make
do?
sense.
What are they
Yeah, I
gonna
mean-
do?
At what point is your frustration level and you're frantic at your wits end actually doing more harm than good when you just need to tap out for a minute and say, you know what, I can't and I need help.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that.
Well, and I think recognizing that when it reaches a level that it's not a healthy environment for anyone and a change needs to happen, I think that's, I've known you long enough to know that the last thing you're looking to do is abdicate your responsibility, but you are self-aware enough to recognize when a challenge has exceeded your abilities to meet it. And I think that's where you've reached the point with the kids, and you've accessed and sought out more resources than I think anybody in your situation ever would, in an effort to give these kids the best life possible. And I think you're, in talking with you, you're at a point where you see what their future looks like if there isn't a radical change in direction for them, because this is
thing.
yeah,
they're gonna end up in jail.
Yeah.
Or worse, that's the thing that scares me. That's what I see, and that's terrifying to me. And if that's the future, I have to do something else. You know, when every morning I'm woken up to a tantrum of an 8-year-old throwing himself on the floor, screaming because he's up and he's going nuts in the house. And I'm like, come here, you need to come here. And because I'm just calling him into my room, that makes him very upset. And because he's upset at 8 years old, he's screaming at the top of his lungs and throwing himself on the floor and just screaming. And there's no talking. He doesn't hear anything you're saying. And then you're like, wait a minute. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. Are you hearing me right now? I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to avoid you having a consequence for your action. Do you need to listen to what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And this goes on for hours at a time. And there's
Right.
no real communication. And then it's like, oh, okay, you think you finally get somewhere. And then an hour goes by and then we're right back doing it again. And it's like there's something not clicking in their mind. I always try to explain it to the therapist that this is a child that would put his hand on a hot stove. He'd feel the pain, scream, would be devastated. But 10 minutes later would go and put his hand on the hot stove again. Like he would not correlate that, like, oh, I don't want to do that again because that hurt.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like something's not clicking. So
Yeah,
what do you
the
do?
neural pathways are not there.
Yeah.
If there's no remorse and the concept of consequences are lost. And
No. So it's like, what do you do? And then the destructiveness of other people's things.
You need Maury. Remember on Maury when they would have the boot camp people come in and they would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They don't like that. They don't. No, because the thing is, if you say no about anything, all holy hell breaks loose. You know what I mean? But this has been going on since day one. You know what I mean? And like, I've allowed this to go on because the therapist would be like, well, I'm like, I can't leave them with a babysitter because then my house gets trashed and I'm paying for that for days on end because the next 2 days are hell on earth because the behavior spike. They're like, well, don't leave them with a babysitter.
Well, you need to have a life too.
Well, what life? What about a job? You know what I mean? This is why I had to give up. I had 3 sub shops that I had to give up because how do you run a business with kids that you have to be constantly there for? And then I'm following what all these people are telling me because they supposedly know what they're doing. But now in hindsight, I'm like, I literally catered to everything these children wanted. Like they got their way from day one.
Well, and a lot of that I think was, you were very aware of abandonment issues and,
as you should be, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think your focus was exactly where it needed to be. I think the challenge now is that so many years have gone by and you're not seeing any positive growth or not substantial positive growth and development that would normally happen,
Right.
as the brain matures or as positive lessons are reinforced. Unfortunately for you, they're stuck in that same loop and pattern of bad behavior with no remorse, no concept.
And the weird thing that too, like the psychiatrist, nobody's ever been in a bed to answer me. Positive reinforcement was always the trigger, and they're like, "Oh, well, it's because they don't feel worthy." Okay, well then when does that end? Or you know what I mean? We go on a big trip, we go to the theme park or whatever, and then it's like, then the next day the house would get destroyed. Or they would sneak into something. You know what I mean? There was door alarms on the bedrooms. There was motion detectors. We had to have window alarms. You know what I mean? Like people don't understand the severity of this. And I think in New York, I felt very, very alone. I know I did. Everybody was they had their thing going on in their life and my family wasn't around. And down here, I've been lucky that people are here every day.
Well, I think that you were also very judged, not just alone, but you were...
Right.
Nobody
judged. Really knew. Nobody. Yeah. And 2, it was like I was the all-star foster parent. My ex-husband and I were. We were the go-to ones that they would throw all the kids in with. Oh, are you available this weekend? We have 5 respite kids. You know what I mean? I have 12 kids in my house for a week.
Right.
And the worst of the worst that nobody could take, they drop them off. And I'm the one that I could reach them. I'm the one that could talk to them. I don't have that gift anymore. I don't know what happened to it. It's gone because I can't reach these kids, and I feel guilty. I feel horrible, and I just wish I knew what else to do for them.
I think you do know, and I think you have incredible
I just don't
self-awareness.
like it. I don't like it. I don't want
It's
to
not
do
the
it.
path you wanted to be on.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. It's very upsetting to me. I just want to be in denial a little bit longer. I keep pushing it off, like the numbers in my phone. And I just don't. I keep hoping, like, okay, today's going to be the breakthrough. Today's going to be the breakthrough. Today's going to be the breakthrough. And it's not happening. So there's my honesty. There's me being vulnerable and saying the things that you're not supposed to say on a podcast. But that's the truth. This is what I'm going through. This is my life. And this is what it's been like for 5 years. And I'm doing it on my own. And it's scary as hell. So
Well,
there's my truth.
I'm proud of you.
Ta-da.
It was kind of like taking a bullet saying all that out loud, though. Not gonna lie.
I know.
Okay.
But
Okay,
I
now
think-
somebody else tell their bullshit, okay? Hit that
Thank you.
bell.
I think you.
Oh,
need-
wait.
Oh,
How about we go into something fun? Can we talk about Bryen's
Yeah.
beauty regiment? Because that was
Yeah.
great this weekend. We had a little 3-way call or something, I think, at some point.
Let's
what,
talk
like
about some
Friday.
moisturizing.
And Bryen's
Oh,
talking
no,
about
not
his
the
beauty
moisturizing,
regiment.
but this is good, Bryen.
It
Why
was
don't you
amazing.
fill us in? 'Cause
Was it my
Genius.
sleeping?
Well, it was all of it. I mean, because so first of all, it started with your.
Well, I don't really
fountain
get
of
the
youth.
sleeping anymore. But
Right.
right.
But
right.
for a long time, everybody misjudged your age, right?
Oh, they still do, yeah.
Right. So you're like 14.
14.
But yeah, tell us what's the secret of your.
It's witch
Yeah.
hazel.
It's a good astringent.
It is. I
It's a
literally
witch
put it on
hazel.
my face every single
Me too. Well, when I shave.
day. Me too.
And you're okay with the smell? I can't get past the smell.
I don't really smell it. At first, yeah, it does smell weird and nasty, but I don't smell it anymore.
It smells
Yeah,
kind of like
not bad.
rotten eggs. Ugh.
You ever like brush
Yeah.
your teeth with baking soda? Now that's something that takes some getting used to.
It really
Yeah.
it does. And you know what? Those
What does
are,
that taste like?
Oh,
What?
it's
You
like
should really
it's
find
like
out for yourself.
it's like
I'm like, I
salt.
don't want to.
It's like salt that makes you want to throw up.
How do
Just
you
don't
even-
use
And
don't
sand.
use the one in the fridge though. Do not use the one that you've been using to deodorize your refrigerator.
How do you
That's
when you
not
like
a good idea.
you
Yeah,
put
you
it
just-
on your
you just-
you
What
dip
is that?
your
You just
toothbrush
Jeffrey,
in
can
it?
you stop making that motion
Yeah.
for those
Yeah,
who
you
are
get-
watching? No, that
you
is,
get-
this
Upside
is
down.
not how.
That's a shake weight.
That's different.
That's
That's a different beauty process. It's different. It's not. No.
oh, it's two toothbrushes.
Yes, thank you, Dana, for bringing us back. That was extra good oral hygiene, is what that was right there.
So okay,
Oh, boy.
explain. What do you dip the toothbrush in the baking soda, or do you
Well,
turn the
yeah,
baking
Stop
soda
being
into
so
a paste?
Italian and jamming
got-
the toothbrush
You
into
just
the
get
box.
your toothbrush wet. You run it under the faucet, and then you just kind of like dip the bristles in the baking soda, and you just grind away.
So
Wait,
like,
you don't
how
put any
much?
toothpaste
How
on it?
much baking soda are we talking about?
Just enough
Whatever
to get,
sticks.
whatever sticks to the bristles. So if the bristles are wet, it's
Yeah.
only going to hold as much as it can hold. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not building a cake with it. It's
Wait, I
just-
thought you put the toothpaste on and then you dip it in the.
Oh, you could do that too. You know, you want to make a combo.
This
No.
seems like double
no.
dipping.
I'm sorry. You cannot. You don't put toothpaste on and then stick your no. Oh.
You can. Don't tell them what to
Kelly's
do.
horrified.
What if it's a special one just for your toothpaste?
You better label it.
Toothpaste. Baking
I don't
powder.
know.
Well, why would you use
Or
baking
baking
soda
soda.
and
Baking powder.
toothpaste? Because
Oh,
isn't
you
the
know.
point like
Well, baking soda is like abrasive. Like it
Yeah, it
grinds
whitens
Baking
the
soda
crap
is in
off of there.
toothpaste to begin with, I think.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
well, whitening toothpaste. You just have to be really careful because it can strip your teeth. But
Yeah, you
Ooh.
use it too much, that stuff they'll rip your enamel off after a while.
yeah,
So it's good
Has
for
anyone
like every
used
once in
charcoal?
a while for like a nice deep clean. Oh yeah, charcoal. That's if you want your entire sink black forever.
In your
oh,
teeth.
no.
Yeah.
no, I'm
That looks like it looks like your kid just ate a lump of charcoal and you're like, ah.
Mm,
all
some black licorice.
Yeah, and then like somehow it just spatters on everything, and it's way worse than the little white spatters from the regular toothpaste. The black, oh man, I bought some. I was at Marshall's, and I was like, oh hey, this looks like it's something. I'll try it. And first you open the container, and then the charcoal just like explodes out, and it's everywhere now. Then everything you touch turns black now. And then you take it, you get a little on your toothbrush as you're brushing your teeth, and it's just putting these little black spatters all over the freaking everything. And then your hands are black, your mouth is black, and you got to rinse it all off. And then you spend the next 10 minutes with a paper towel just trying to find all the little black dribblies from all over the. Yeah, it's
So we're saying don't do that.
Don't do
don't
that.
do that.
Okay,
No.
so we're crossing that off the list of the beauty.
No
measure.
charcoal.
So
Okay.
does anyone else, like Bryen, do you have any, so you mentioned something besides witch hazel when we spoke the other
Your
night.
biggest
was-
thing that was the best part of all this was
The shake weight.
I don't remember.
sleep.
Your ability to
I said
sleep
that.
on a dime. Well,
Oh,
you said
yeah,
you
I
don't
can-
get sleep anymore, but you said, one of the
I
big
used to be able to
differences-
just fall asleep like in like 30 seconds.
He's like, oh no, I sleep like 12 hours a night. That's
Well,
why
no,
I look
I
so
sleep-
young. He's like,
no.
because you don't age when you sleep,
No.
and fool.
No, that
No,
is what you-
I sleep. I used to sleep 8 to 10 hours before I had kids. I used to sleep 8 to 10 hours a night, and then I usually took a 2 to 3 hour nap when I got home from work.
How'd you do anything ever?
So like a solid.
What do you mean, how did I
12
do
or 15
anything?
hours.
How
of
did you have
sleep.
time to do anything? That sounds, man.
Well, I didn't take a nap every single day. If I
I
had
don't
stuff to
even
do.
know. I get like 6.5, 7 hours of sleep, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna have time.
What do I have to do? I didn't have any kids or anything.
Oh yeah, that's
That's why he
true.
never made it to my house on time. He's taking a
I
nap.
never made it anywhere.
Now
on
I
time.
know.
I was asleep.
It's true.
He's not somewhere more important. He's just sleeping.
I'm just sleeping.
Well, that's important.
So,
Well, it's-
so what motivates you again, Bryen?
Sleep and food
Okay.
and witch hazel.
And which is it? Does anyone else have any beauty secrets they want to share besides Dana? No,
oh.
I'm kidding.
I don't know.
Dana's
got-
charcoal
all right.
experiment is.
I
I
use
was
lip
at-
balm too.
Yeah, lip balm's important. Got a balm on lips.
Wait,
Man, that's
how far out do you
got
get rolled out? That's terrible.
It's not lipstick.
What?
Look, this is what.
Why is that
it's
unrolled
right.
so
You-
much?
you
That's
Oh,
like
it just-
3 inches.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that makes me
So-
uncomfortable.
Bryen has his chapstick. The chapstick is actually out of the thing by like
I've
2
never seen
inches.
anybody so
Yeah,
aggressive with that.
That makes me so uncomfortable. I'd be worried about it breaking.
I don't,
He likes
it
it.
doesn't,
He likes
I'm
it.
delicate with it.
He likes it big.
I just caress right across the lips.
All right. all right.
That's a technique you got there.
Huh.
That's
Do you do your deodorant the same way?
I do. I caress my armpits.
No,
Yeah,
but
but
I
do
mean,
you
do you
roll
put
it
it
up,
like way
like-
out?
Do you have like an inch out?
No, actually, I don't.
Okay.
But I do. It like comes out maybe like a half inch. Like I get it out of there. I don't want to. I don't like for the plastic to scrape my armpit.
Oh, I'm with you.
You know the
Oh.
container. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
So,
have to
mean,
roll
you-
it out.
Do you
quite a
throw it
bit.
out before it gets to that point, or do you try to like squeeze every last?
No, I throw it out. Well, first of all, I don't even use like real deodorant. I use all natural stuff,
Oh, so
like
you're smelly.
Tums, whatever the hell it's called. Sorry
No,
for
you-
the plug.
You just have a box of baking soda in your bathroom. You throw it. That's why you need to label them. You don't want to be putting that one in your mouth.
Whoopsie.
Okay, listen. Nobody could judge you because this fool over next to me over here, she comes into daycare one day. She's like, "Stop not using deodorant no more. You should try it." She's like, "I'm using like coconut oil and like essential oils." I'm like,
Yeah.
"What?" I'm like, "Listen, I'm
Wait, do
300
you still
pounds."
use that?
No, I'm tired now.
I'm tired now.
I'm like, I'm 300 pounds. I gotta use the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
I'm 300.
There will be no coconut oil and
Can't be affording for that to quit early. Yeah, I get you.
no, we're not having that. There's nothing I can't like. If I get a whiff of somebody at a store or something, or I'm near something, I'm like, oh no, boo, you got to step off. You got no.
Well, I shower every single day.
Well, me too, but I still can't.
In the
like,
summer, I shower twice, like sometimes more than once a day.
That's
mm,
nice. I mean,
I mean,
that's.
so maybe that's why I don't need like heavy deodorant. I don't know.
I don't know. I do those things.
I just like.
Do you wear a
to
lot of
shower.
deodorant?
Not really. I don't smell much. Like every once in a while, like if I'm running around getting busy, like I'll get that 3 o'clock onion going on, but most of the time
3
it's
o'clock.
not.
Oh, that's
It's
so gross.
That's so
Oh,
gross.
ew, he just said 3 o'clock onion. That just makes me
That painted a
squirm.
picture.
Ugh. Ugh. I got a real thing about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like the 10-year-old, he like starts to stink, and I'm like, yo,
Oh,
you gotta
no.
go get in the
Ugh.
shower right now, dude. He's like, what? I'm like, you can't smell that? He's like, no. I'm like, go get in the shower, you reek.
Well, you usually can't smell yourself
Oh, no, I can.
unless it gets
Yeah.
bad.
No. I can't smell nothing. But let me tell you what, I could smell somebody funky, okay? No.
You can smell-
Girl, no. Mm-mm.
I actually, I especially hate it after it rains. Like I feel like people smell differently after it's like been raining out and they're like wet.
No,
Oh.
that happens in my car. Like when you turn your
Like you know
car
how
on
wet
after it
dogs
rains.
smell different? So do
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Wet
Wet-
people,
wet
If
dogs.
they get wet from the rain.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They smell like
Their
I don't
clothes
know.
or whatever.
yeah.
You know what was traumatizing as a child? My mother was that woman that would leave the clothes in the basement in the washer.
No.
No.
So it was like middle school.
No.
Maybe not even middle school. It was probably 5th grade where I was
Ooh.
like,
That
oh,
smell.
no. I was like, what is this? What is this? And
Yep.
that's when I started
It
doing
was
my
like,
own
oh, it's
laundry.
me.
Because I'm like, oh, this can't go on.
Yeah, that's
No,
terrible.
we're not doing this.
That's not
That's
good.
that's like and down in Missouri, that's the horrible thing about down here. It's so humid. So you have like I put baking soda in the laundry, and,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
do you
do
get like mold grow everywhere?
it can very easily, very
I have
very
a
easily.
friend. Yeah, I have a friend that used to live in Texas, and they were talking about how like it'd get humid down there, and you like get mold growing on your car and in your garage and everything.
Damn.
That happens.
Yeah, it is super yeah. The cars and stuff. Yeah, you gotta like move stuff. You gotta take care. It's a whole different weird thing that like they gotta do things that we don't have to do up north. And I'm like, what are you talking? I've never had to do such. I don't know about this. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
They're
There's a lot of that in Marcellus. It's very damp here.
no, not damp like it is down here, Boo Kitten. This is a whole
Yeah, no, you're right,
nother
you're right.
ball of wax. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's the swamp.
I do not like humidity.
Yeah. You know what though? I got this summer. It wasn't as bad. The first time it was it was like being in Florida. It was, but this it wasn't too bad.
See, I like that.
But I have to put baking soda in with all the towels. You know what I mean? You can't let your towel air dry and use it like you.
So are
Yeah.
all of us very like sensitive to smell? I am extremely like.
Not really.
No,
I mean,
Depends what it is.
Yeah, I
don't
guess it
care.
depends what it was.
I know Jeffrey
Like-
and I are like.
Okay,
I
if
just-
it's
I mean,
beets,
Everybody's
Ugh.
got like a trigger
Did you
smell.
say beets?
beets. If I smell beets, it's over with.
Oh,
Like
They
beets
smell like
isn't like
dirt.
the red thing.
The food?
Yeah, them beets. The vegetable
beets.
thing.
the fat beets.
I
What?
love beets. They're one of my favorite foods.
Oh my
What?
god.
What do you mean if you smell
I
beets?
used to work
They don't have a smell.
I used to work in a nursing home in the kitchen, and when they did beets, they let me go work up on one of the floors because
Are you talking about like canned beets?
any beets, any damn beets.
They had to come out the can. The nursing home they weren't
Oh,
serving fresh
that's-
beets.
Oh, I
That's
can no, I can't even smell them. I can't even just thinking about it makes me want to throw up. I don't know what happened
Kelly.
when
Oh
I
my
was a kid.
gosh.
When we
Look at
have the
that.
baby shower in April, we're making beets.
Nice beet
I
salad.
don't know.
I'll be
Oh,
able to
the
smell
borscht.
them as soon as I walk into your house.
He'll
That's how
never know.
pungent they are to me.
Make some
You'll
never
know.
borscht and
That's
nice beet
interesting.
salad.
Maybe they're poisonous to me. I don't know.
Maybe.
Did I tell you that we had the urine problem here with the two older ones in the
Yeah,
bathroom,
yeah.
and like when they get mad, they like to pee all over everything like a dog.
And like on the air
And-
conditioner. Yeah.
And the one
Mhm.
night, yeah, or all over the bathroom, in the tiles
No.
and the grout and things.
No.
And so, oh yeah.
Do you have
yeah,
carpets and like little carpets?
No, but in New York, we had wood floor. You know what I mean? And the one bedroom's
Oh.
destroyed from him doing it. So we've had to take
Mm-mm.
crazy measures or whatever because that was
Did
the
you
thing.
just tape it shut?
And then down here, the same thing.
You should plastic
It's
up
gonna-
his room like Dexter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't have to be the room. Because if
Oh,
they're
that's true.
upset, like they're gonna go anywhere. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, let's go outside to pee, and then we're gonna go pee on somebody's things outside. Like peeing in the air conditioner unit. Okay. And in the electrical box, trying to short the power out to
Oh.
get back at me.
That's
Because they're
not
mad
going to
at me.
work out well for them.
No. So yeah, these are the things. Listen, the stories. I'm
Honey,
sure
one of your
will
kids
go-
is going to get the Darwin Award.
I'm telling you. Listen. So where was I going with this?
We're
I don't
talking
even-
about the smells. Like
the
who's
smell.
got everybody's
So,
got trigger
yeah.
The
smells.
urine, right? So I'm so like super sensitive. I'm like, does it smell like pee? Does it smell? You know what I mean? My aunt will come in. I'm like, do you smell piss? Does it smell like piss in here? I swear. So the one night I'm going to bed, I got my diffuser
Dang.
going. I put it in my room early, and I put lavender in it. And I walk in my room, and I'm like, what the? And I'm losing it because I swore I must have put, and it might have been mixed with a little eucalyptus or something. And I swore that one of the
So you
kids,
mixed essential oils that smelled like urine by mistake? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And
By
I swore though,
mistake.
I was convinced. I'm taking the diffuser apart and I'm like turning it off and I'm smelling the water. I'm sticking a paper towel in there to see if it's yellow. I'm like, they pissed in my diffuser. I'm going to jail tonight. I'm going to jail. Like I was just, I'm like, oh my God. I'll call CPS myself. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm kidding.
I'll
People.
call
I'm
CPS.
kidding. It's comedy. I'm just joking. I would not kill them. It's, you know what I mean? It's just to try to make you laugh. Relax.
I'm
saying, like, I just couldn't even, I couldn't even fathom, and it was my fault. It was the oils. I did it myself, and it was just, yeah. But I mean, I was losing it. I'm like, oh my god, they pissed in the. No, it was my stupid ass. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So now I have like, I constantly am like smelling urine or burnt toast. I don't.
It's probably in the air conditioner.
But that's a thing, though. Like I feel like once you're not that's not a thing. That should never be a thing. But I swear, once you're like hyper aware of something like that, it's all like you think you smell it everywhere. Whatever it is, the thing you're like, I smell it. What is that? What?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. So. We've gone all over the place tonight. Here.
I know we didn't even get into our.
We didn't get into any of our topics.
We got stinky.
Kelly, you had a crazy week.
Yeah.
Where you had to explain to your kids and prepare them for their first funeral.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, please? Because when you called and explained to me the visual in my head of how you prepared your children for the funeral just had me in stitches because
Did you kill one of the guinea pigs and have a practice one?
No. No. So we started with Anna. So yes, their great grandmother passed away, and my children really have not had any experience or exposure to death or anything.
She was 106, right?
Next month she would have been 106. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
Amazing.
wasn't
woman.
like it was their grandmother who was 70.
She could have been on the Titanic.
No, and truly a wonderful woman, had a great relationship with the kids and with the whole family. She's just extraordinary. But with COVID, we hadn't seen her in the last couple of years, and the kids were asking about her all the time, and she did pass peacefully. So anyway, I was trying to figure out how to have this conversation with the kids. I remember when my grandfather died, it was around my birthday, and for some reason I thought I did something wrong and it was my fault, and I didn't want my kids to have that feeling. And I also feel like they were so wrapped up in their adult stuff that nobody really stopped to have a conversation with the kids about it. So it made me want to make sure that not to have my kids have that experience. So anyway, told Anna, grandma passed away and there's going to be this wake. She's like, what's a wake? I'm like, well, it's a room full of people and couches and a casket and a body. And, I said, grandma's basically going to be like this. And I put my arms up like this and I fell backwards on the bed and I go, she's going to be dead in a box. And she's just looking at me horrified.
Just the part that she put her arms across her chest and she fell back onto the bed. She fell back like she
Grandma
fell
has
back.
turned into
Yeah.
Dracula.
Yeah.
And then that's why they call it a wake, because she wakes back up.
And then she
Eyes roll
pops up and
back.
it's very disconcerting. Oh yeah. So I'm like, but it's not really
Everyone
grandma.
takes turns shaking her.
And I said, she's gonna have crazy makeup on her face. It's not really gonna look like her. And I said, so,
Oh,
you
God.
know, so like and then I'm like, some people are even gonna go as far as to bend down in front of the casket. And she's like, what? So then I used the bed again as I said, all right, I go, now you lay down, you be dead, you be grandma. So she falls
You be
backwards.
dead.
Yeah. So had her lay down. And then I knelt next to her and, gave her through, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and people are going to do this. And, So anyway, prepared the children for that. And Anna did a really great job with her brother of calming him down when he heard the news, and she could be a grief counselor immediately. She did such a great job. She's like, buddy, it's okay. Grandma is in a better place now, and this was good for her, and she's still in your heart. She said all the right things. Like she could write a book. It was great. So after the wake, everybody leaves the funeral home, heads to their cars, and we're waiting for the processionals to start to go to the cemetery. Kids are with me. Andy's in another vehicle, and Anna says to me, Mom, how are they going to get Grandma to the cemetery? And without missing a beat, Branson looks at her and says, Anna, haven't you ever heard of a pickup truck?
That's how I want to go.
It's like, and she just
Yeah, I was like,
looks at
that's
him,
kind of cool.
and she goes, buddy, I'm pretty sure that's not it. That's not what's gonna
Grandma's on a
happen."
Harley.
Exactly.
That's
Well, all I
when you
could
turn
think
around.
of was the National Lampoon Summer Vacation when they throw
No.
the
Grandma.
aunt up the
You've
Aunt
gotta-
Edna or Aunt whatever her name up on the
You've
on
got
the
to
roof
you've
of
got to
the
be like,
car.
no, you know those tubes they have at the bank? It's like that, but bigger.
Shoot her down to deliver her at the plot. So, oh my gosh. So yeah, it was. It's the future. I think I've seen a movie like that once, right?
Yeah,
Be more
Oh
efficient.
my gosh.
that's how I want to go.
So after,
Bank tube.
yeah, I mean, the whole rest of that day got even more bizarre because then I went into work at like 5 p.m. and I worked till about midnight, and we had a snowstorm that night, and I wound up getting locked out of my office. I was ready to leave at like midnight, and the door closed behind me, and I didn't have my phone or my keys or anything, and I was locked out. So it's a very weird week, and I just had to keep rolling my shoulders back and saying, all right, what's next? What's next? So, Jeffrey, are you falling asleep over there because you're yawning?
No,
You
I'm
doing all right?
always, for whatever reason, every time I do a live show, I forever yawn the whole time. I'm like, what am I holding my breath? So I'm
Yeah,
not
you need
gasping
oxygen.
for air. Yeah. Yeah, anytime. And even when I do TikTok videos, I'm always like, and I can hear myself breathe. I'm Star Jones, like when she was on The View, and you could always hear her. Yeah, you could always hear her breathing, man. Like,
Wow.
you gotta lose the weight.
So I have one other crazy story.
Okay, go.
Unless anybody wants to comment on, coping with or talking to their children about death. Anybody want to add on to that? No?
I don't know. I've been going to funerals since I was like a baby. Like I don't
We buried
remember
a lot
not
of pets.
going to wakes.
They were always fun. We had great parties, so I always looked forward to them. It was a good get together.
I think that's cool that you prepared your kids because I don't feel like I don't remember getting prepared. I feel like I just walked in and it was like, oh shit, someone's a centerpiece.
Oh, I have a
Yes.
story.
And there's and that's the flowers too. I'm like, see a box with a dead person and flowers around the room. I mean, I just think if you were an alien that arrived from another planet or something and you walked into this scene, I mean, it's just bizarre. Some people
You'd be like,
are
what are they
laughing.
doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
some people are laughing, some people are crying,
sobbing. Yeah, some people are doing both.
Exactly.
I do love a hysterical person at a funeral. It's my favorite.
Me too.
I love when they go crazy.
I went to I think it was at a wake one time. I I have a hard time remembering who it was. I don't know who it was. I may not have even been related to him, but I was young. I was probably like 6, maybe 7. And at the funeral home, they had a dish of like Hershey's Kisses over by the door. So
Oh,
I
not the
grabbed
melty mints. I
yeah,
thought they always
no,
used to have those
no.
like the mints they have in the restaurant, the ones that
Well, they had
dissolve in your
Hershey
tongue.
What
Kisses.
funeral homes do y'all go to?
I don't know.
They don't
So
feed.
this
They don't feed me at the ones.
You
I
don't
go
get the
to.
snacks. All right, so
They-
sorry,
well,
Dana,
so
your Hershey
they
Kiss.
had
Sorry.
they had I grabbed a couple of Hershey Kisses because I'm 6 and I was eating them and I didn't know what to do with the aluminum foil, so I just wadded it up and I stuck it in my pocket. And then when it came our turn to go up and kneel down at the thing, like I'm like, oh, this is like I was holding it and looking at it instead of praying.
You did
and I
not
was
put
like
it in the casket.
in their ear.
Oh.
I was like, this is just gonna get buried. And I just put it in their ear. And like my mom was standing right, or she was kneeling right next to me, but her eyes were closed, so she didn't know. So I just had this little ball of foil, and I was like, boop. And I don't think anybody noticed. I don't know. Maybe somebody noticed.
Somebody got buried with Hershey Kiss foil in their ear.
Yeah, I don't even know who it was. I'm trying to remember who died when I was 6.
Now they're in heaven forever with Hershey Kiss foil in their ear.
I was a little kid. I don't know.
Dana, this could be why your birthdays are always ruined.
Maybe.
It's the person with the Hershey Kiss in their ear.
Karma.
Like, you messed with me.
It was just a foil ball.
Literally on my deathbed.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So-
Lord.
The ghost
Has
of birthdays
anybody ever
past.
done anything more irreverent than that?
I don't
Well,
think
I had to, Ryan, our friend Misty, she had the worst luck, when it came to people dying. Her mom
Oh,
died,
really?
and on her deathbed, she asked me if I would do her makeup after she
Oh,
died. Right? And I'm like, what
How
am
do
I
you never
supposed
know?
to? Right? What do you say to that? No.
Did you
Of
ask her if
course.
she was going to bring her own brushes or what?
Well, I said yes, but nobody told me. Like dead
You
people, it's a
can't
whole
use
different-
regular.
Yeah, it's a different. I had to go buy different brushes and things. It's like spackle, and then you gotta pluck her eyebrows and things. And on a cold dead person, it's a whole different. And the makeup chick for the funeral home comes walking, and she's like, "Oh, you're doing a good job. You want a job?" And I
You're
just
doing a
sat there
good
chatting with her.
job.
And I just sat there chatting with her. I was kind of sweating. And then like they had, I don't know, they were embalming her or whatever, you know what I mean? So there was kind of like a thing down here or whatever. And I kind of, I was peeking and looking. I was like, well, what's going on down here? And they're like, why does this only look like half of her? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I'm all nosy. Like, it don't bother me. But I was
It
like,
only
what's
looks
this?
like half of her.
Yeah, like where'd the rest of her go? She's a big woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I get that treatment when I go? Like, is there a thing you got to ask for?
Well, they suck it all out.
No, I don't know if it has to do with the embalming thing or whatever. I was like, okay.
Shit. Wow.
That's
So
interesting.
that was an experience. Yeah. And then do you remember we did the New Kids on the Block dance at that funeral?
Mm-hmm.
You were there.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
And then the father, this was the greatest one of all time. She calls me up. Do you remember this? And she's like, oh, Dad's in the hospital. He's in a coma. He choked. Okay. Well, what happened? He choked on cottage cheese.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
How? And then he died.
You
I'm
don't-
like,
He
this
don't
man
really-
choked to death. I was like,
You don't.
so
you
we're at the
drowned in
funeral.
cottage cheese.
Did
You
they
don't
put
choke.
that up as the cause of death?
We're at the
Choked on
funeral,
cottage
right?
cheese.
We're at the funeral. Yeah. There was the
Oh,
the
no.
yeah, he asphyxiated
That
on
sounds like a
cottage cheese.
mystery.
So we're at the funeral, and I just
It gets
whispered
lodged
in
in
her-
your lung.
I whisper in her ear. I was like, "You got to look out for that large curd. It's a bitch. It'll get you every time." She just starts laughing. So do you remember? She pissed her pants. She had to go
Yeah.
home and change out of her suit. She just couldn't stop laughing because I couldn't believe that he died on cottage cheese. Like, who does that happen to?
For
See,
him.
nobody noticed what I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the tinfoil ball.
the tinfoil. Yeah, nobody saw what.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
nobody-
yeah. I was like, what did you?
Mine was
Bryen,
harmless.
that was 2 minutes ago.
I get confused. I'm sorry.
That's
But
okay.
cottage cheese? Like, come
That's why I tell my
on.
husband he's not going to know when I have dementia because I'm always confused.
All right. Well, you know what? Like, I was just noticing, like, up in the corner of our screen there, it says, like, the topic of this episode was night terrors.
Oh
So
yeah,
we
we
should
only have
probably
10
talk
minutes
about
left,
that.
and we never got into them. Way to
Yeah,
go,
so when I
Jeffrey.
was trying to type this up, I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna. And I forgot about the funeral and all that other stuff. I was like, night terrors. I don't know. Bryan and I talked about night terrors.
I think we're gonna give people night terrors after listening to this show. Quite honestly,
Maybe.
I know. And then I went on Twitter and TikTok,
Again.
and like did these videos. Well, tonight we're gonna talk about night terrors and how that affected our childhood.
How's
and
your
how it was
titch?
like- went into adulthood. Listen, he doesn't remember nothing. I can't speak English. What do you guys want? You know, here
It
we are.
sounds like a
How we
porn
ended
tip.
up this way. I remembered the name.
Good job.
Who knew?
So I didn't have night terror, so I'm going to tell you this story real quick, because then you guys can talk about that. So on the way home from work today, I really, really, really had to go to the bathroom, and I have like an hour and a half drive, so there was no holding it or waiting. I mean, it ties into our conversation last week about whether or not you can go to the bathroom in a public place. So, I mean, I was a little discerning. There was a Citgo gas station that wasn't going to cut it. I may not have come out of there alive. So I opted for the McDonald's. I said, well, it's corporate. You know, there's a good chance that they clean the bathrooms regularly. It won't be too bad.
Or at least more than the Sunoco.
Right, exactly. Where there's a lock on the door or it says, you know, out of service, use at your own caution, whatever. So
Cleaned in 1992.
So I literally just go barreling straight in there, right? I didn't pay attention to which stall, whatever. The door that was right in front of me was the one I went in. Run in there. I go. Reach for the toilet paper.
Mm.
None.
This is why you have to keep Nutella in your purse.
Nutella.
Yes.
What am I going to do with Nutella?
So that you can then ask the person next to you for some toilet paper, but you could put some Nutella on your hand, get your camera out, and you could film it and then see how crazy they go. It's
Well,
the
what if
best
no one's
video.
there?
Well, then you
Oh.
got a problem.
What if you're all alone?
Then
Yeah.
you don't need the Nutella and you got a problem.
Well, no. So
You gotta shake.
this was not an option, Bryan.
Oh.
No.
You just have to use your underwear and then flush it.
That could have happened. But instead,
Oh no. I can't wait.
Did you have tissues in your purse?
there was nothing within reach. Okay.
Oh no.
So I decided to stand up, bent forward, and not pull my pants all the way up around my waist and waddle into another stall.
That is a very dangerous thing to try to do.
And pray.
In a public bathroom. Oh my! Could you imagine if somebody walked in and she was ass out? Oh.
I was literally
Oh my goodness.
Yep. That's it. Yep.
That's great. Oh god.
That's a brave thing you did. You did a brave thing.
I have never felt more relieved in my entire life when I got behind door number 2 and pushed that lock shut. I gotta tell you, the relief.
And then realized it was out too.
No, yeah, at that point, I just.
Please tell me you went up to them and complained.
Oh no, I ran out of there so fast and I was horrified. So like I almost went into the janitor's closet instead of out the door because I was so
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
discombobulated. I exited and I'm like looking around like paranoid and everything, trying to get out of there. I'm like, where's the door? Where's the door? That's not the door. And then I'm like, I'm never gonna come into this place again. I'm never gonna see these people. Like there is no. Yes. No. Yeah, so literally punched forward. And then it was like I could hear the 007 music, you know, the James Bond music in my head as I'm like peeking around the corner. I'm like, all right, you just gotta commit. You just gotta do this. Yeah. So
Oh,
At this
shit.
point now, we may have to wait till next week to talk about night terrors, or I literally just gave everyone night terrors.
Let us know about your
That's
night
easy.
terrors next week.
Do we want to kick that topic to next week and talk about the book that we're going to start?
Oh, yeah, we
could
didn't
definitely.
even talk about. Oh, and I got a picture. Hold on. I was ready. So,
Ta-da! That looks
boom.
great.
Nice job, Jeffrey. So
Yeah.
if anybody wants to join us, we are going to tackle this book, Atomic Habits. For those who haven't heard of it, I did kind of took in the intro earlier today, and it's basically a book about the compound effect of both good and bad habits and how they measure up over not just, we think of things and we want instant gratitude, right? It's, I've gone to the gym 3 times this week. Why aren't I skinny and perfect? Or, I didn't have the cheeseburger for lunch, so why didn't I lose 10 pounds? So this book, it explores the science behind it, the biology, the psychology, the neuroscience, but it's also a very practical how-to manual. Like, how do you take all these proven scientific ideas and make them work for you? And so I think it'll be a great book for all of us. I know the last couple of years have been rather tough for us, and I think the thing that attracted me to the book is it really applies to anything. It could be your health, your wealth, your personal relationships, and I thought it would be fun to go on this journey together. So
I think it's a good book too, because like the last 2 years, we've all kind of probably gotten some bad habits just because they were easy to form.
And if you can't see it, again, it's called Atomic Habits. It's by James Clear. And on the cover, it says Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results. An easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. So again, it's Atomic Habits by James Clear.
So join us.
It's on Audible, pretty much anywhere books are available.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing an audiobook because I'm in the car a lot. So
Me too.
But, yeah.
I got it on Audible.
Do we have a goal as to how many chapters we're going to do by next week?
I don't think it has chapters. It has like something different.
No, it kind of does. Well, at least on Audible it did. Why don't we try to get to the end of chapter 2?
Okay.
Let me see if it has a name.
Oh, 2 whole chapters? Oh, jeez.
It's a week.
Just kidding. Yeah, it is chapters.
It is chapters. So we'll go
introduction,
through. Yep.
The fundamentals, why tiny changes make a big difference. Chapter 1 is the surprising power of atomic habits. And chapter 2 is how the habits shape your identity and vice versa.
Yeah. So does everyone feel comfortable with that, or should we go any further?
I'm comfortable with that.
That would be about an hour or so of listening. So I think we can all make time for that. Yeah.
Easily.
So
Dana doesn't have much to say. He just kind of mugging it.
No, he hasn't had a chance to get the book yet, so he's in the process of doing that. So
trying to figure out how to get there. Yeah.
We'll give a week to figure it out.
Honey, it's okay. You just sit there, blow me.
All right.
Here.
I'm here. And I'm queer.
No,
that's me. That's me.
Yeah,
but
you're not Blow Jeffrey.
No, I'm married. I'm a good girl now.
Oh, listen. First off, Bryen, the hell is you?
Now. As in today.
There's many nights. I'm just gonna.
We ain't counting yesterday or before. Just today and forward. Thank you.
Just saying. Yeah, the book is pretty crazy. I mean, let's in the introduction, I would like to bring that up. He talks about like it was the last day of his sophomore year, and the friend, like they're playing baseball or whatever, and the friend loses control of the bat.
Right.
Hits him right in the puss. And
right here. Hits him right here.
Yeah, suffers a broken nose, multiple skull fractures, shatters both eye sockets. That he has to be like airlifted to a second hospital because the first one can't handle it. He's suffering multiple seizures.
And nobody knew what was happening in real time. Like it took them a while to
Wow.
figure out. Like they thought at first he saw blood, and they thought, oh, he just broke his nose or whatever. But they didn't realize that a traumatic brain injury had
brain
literally
swelling.
started, and
Wow.
They were
and
at the
That's
hospital.
scary.
They were asking him questions what year it was, and he said it was 98, and it wasn't. It was 2000 something. They asked him what the president won. He says Clinton, and it was Bush.
George Bush, it was Bush, and then
they
asked
asked
his
him-
mom's name. It took him
He
like
didn't-
20 seconds to answer.
Yeah.
Jesus, she was still sucking Monica.
It was just
And then the thing that really kind of got me was the father. So the mom flew
Yes.
in the helicopter with him
This
to the
is
second
what
hospital.
got me
The
too.
father had to go home and get the other siblings situated, and looked at the sister, who we find out had cancer at 3, and
Yep,
looked
Oh
at
my
her and
God.
was like,
4.
and had to tell her, I can't come to your 8th grade graduation.
Yep. I wrote that down too because
That was one of my biggest notes, and I was like, how does
Dude.
that affect the other kid, right?
Yep.
Because I'm like,
Wow.
I understand, like, you're worried about your kid, like he's being airlifted, but do both
The
of you,
mom's
like,
with him. Yeah.
I'm like, what's the balance there, and how do you handle that situation? And I think that's probably a great place to leave this weekend. That's something we can tackle next week. Because as a
Yeah,
parent,
absolutely.
what do you do? What do you do?
Yes,
Because
when you're literally pulled in opposite directions, and
that's the only graduation she's ever going to have, and that's going to be a moment that she's going to remember. And then if her
Mhm.
brother's fine and he lives, that's something that could be a problem later on.
Yeah.
and just the choices we have to make as parents too. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think it would be good to talk about that, or if we have any events in our own lives that were overshadowed by another traumatic event that
Oh,
you know.
like that time Nick got hit by the little Debbie man. Whew, girl, we got free little Debbies for a long time from that.
It sounds like a win-win.
He threw
It was.
himself in front of the little Debbie truck.
It was crazy. He got airlifted. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing reminded me of flashbacks of that still. I can
Wow.
hear Joyce screaming and him. It was crazy. It was
Wow.
an interesting
Did that happen
experience.
while you guys were on Jefferson?
Yeah, she was working up at the apartments around the corner. He was
Oh,
at
wow.
Genesee. He was walking up. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, okay.
We'll get into
I don't
that
remember
one.
that.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, and I just made a nice sandwich, real nice, and I get the phone.
She's so
call.
pissed about it.
I was pissed. I was like, oh,
I love it.
really took some effort. But kids, we made it. Week 7, I think it was. I don't know.
We did,
Night
and
terrors.
Lucky 7.
we're going
Surprised
to
we
start
didn't-
out next week with a review of the first few chapters of Atomic Habits, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get to that by the last 10 minutes or so.
We're going to try anyway, but we make no promises here, right? We got Jeffrey, Kelly, Dana, and Bryen. Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
I was like, oh, do we say hi? I don't know what to do.
No, we
Bye,
say
bye.
goodbye.
We just got to
Goodbye.
keep waving, and you're going to hit the button, and
Until
then
you
it's
hit
going to
the
take
button.
longer
Make
than
sure
you
you
thought.
go and subscribe at uncensoredradio.live. And if you want to get some merch, go to uncensoredradio.shop and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at live